1979. Jimmy Carter is president. Iran is in revolution. The Pittsburgh Pirates defeat the Orioles in the World Series. And the Grammy for Album of the Year goes to Saturday Night Fever. Radical takeover, midnight votes, whispers, stares, and a smoke-filled room. Millions of dollars at stake. Sounds like a plot to the latest Tom Clancy novel, but in reality, it was simply the creation of NJ Transit. The dawning of a new era in public transportation took hold. The bygone era of siloed, independent, and multiple privately owned bus companies ended, and the dawning of a new unified and integrated statewide transit network began with the creation of NJ Transit on July 17, 1979.
I came in 1963, so in a couple of weeks I start my 57th year. I start as a bus driver. I'm just grateful that I was able to be here for 57 years. Equipment has changed. Our influence in the surrounding areas has changed. But what has not changed is the enthusiasm of the employees, the dedication of the employees, and the constant improvements, if you will, of our lines, our buses, to make life better for the people who ride our services.
1983. Ronald Reagan is president. Sally Ride becomes the first American woman in space. Gandhi is Best Picture of the Year. And the Redskins beat the Dolphins in Super Bowl 17. State officials decided that NJ Transit would enter the rail business on January 1, 1983. This decision also meant that NJ Transit would operate rail service in New York State on the Pascack Valley and Port Jervis lines on behalf of Metro-North Railroad, a subsidiary of New York's Metropolitan Transportation Authority, continuing operations along routes that dated back to the early days of the Erie Railroad.
It was a lot different. It was less tech. Like we worked like communications, underground cables, line trucks. Back then there was no line truck. I was just climbing the poles. All the digging was by hand. Most of the digging was by hand. There's a big difference. But yeah, it's been good to me. Met a lot of friends, a lot of real good friends.
1983 also saw the stand-up of the NJ Transit Police Department. This small but dedicated team of sworn officers would grow significantly over the years into one of the finest and most respected departments in the country, with professionals in every aspect of law enforcement. 1993. Bill Clinton is president. South Africa adopts majority rule. The Chicago Bulls are NBA champions, and Eric Clapton's Tears in Heaven is Song of the Year. NJ Transit inaugurates Access Link service for the state's disabled community, and the Atlantic City Rail Line expands to serve Philadelphia's 30th Street station. 1996. The Transit Arts program begins, funded by both federal and state set-asides for capital projects. Transit Arts liberates art from the prison of museums and places it in neighborhoods where all the people of New Jersey can be inspired. 2000. The millennium arrives, and Y2K is a big nothing. Mad cow disease has Europe in a frenzy. Heather French of Kentucky is Miss America, and the New Jersey Devils win the Stanley Cup. The year sees the inauguration of Hudson Bergen Light Rail Service, an award-winning design, build, operate, and maintain public-private partnership that launches NJ Transit firmly into the light rail arena. September 11, 2001. America is attacked. In the shadow of the smoldering Twin Towers, the courageous men and women of NJ Transit assist in evacuating thousands who fled Lower Manhattan aboard ferries to Hoboken Terminal. 2003. Saddam Hussein is captured. The Department of Homeland Security begins operations. Serena Williams defeats her sister Venus to win Wimbledon, and The Sopranos gets the Emmy for Outstanding TV Drama. NJ Transit opens the Frank R. Lautenberg station at Secaucus Junction. This $500 million project unites 11 of 12 NJ Transit rail lines and connects the state east to west and north to south.
I was the primary project manager for the design and construction of that project. It was an odyssey. The design began in September of 1989, and we actually didn't complete the project in total until the summer of 2006. We wanted to design the station to become an iconic rail transportation hub for the state of New Jersey. New York City has a Grand Central Station. Philadelphia has its 30th Street station. Washington, D.C. has Union Station. But now, for the first time, the state of New Jersey has its own iconic station.
2005, the Department of Homeland Security makes its first grant to the NJ Transit Police Department for equipment, training, and communications to secure our transit system. October 29, 2012, Superstorm Sandy slams into the metropolitan area with rain and damaging 80-mile-per-hour winds that devastate transit infrastructure along with everything else in its path. The long road back strengthens the company's commitment to resiliency and the innovative concept of the microgrid. 2013, Barack Obama is the nation's first African-American president. Pope Benedict becomes the first pope in almost 600 years to resign. The federal government shuts down for 18 days in October, and Psy's Gangnam Style introduces Korean pop to the world. NJ Transit launches MyTix, the first iteration of the app, which allows customers to purchase and display tickets on their smartphones. The features of the app would continue to grow to meet the needs of customers and the company's commitment to new technology. Through the years, Hollywood has come knocking at Transit's door to film major creative projects at our stations and other facilities.
I have had the unique opportunity to be at the very beginning of New Jersey Transit and to see it evolve. I actually grew up with New Jersey Transit. As I mentioned, we started with 100 employees and now we're at over 11,000 employees, talented, dedicated employees in this agency. Prior to New Jersey Transit, the transit system was broken. We had about 30 bus companies, a handful of railroads, and there was no public transportation coordinator in the state. I remember the excitement and the enthusiasm of all the employees back then, and I would never give up that moment for anyone. It was just spectacular.
2018, Saudi Arabian women are given the right to drive, and Prince Harry marries American Meghan Markle. Bruno Mars sweeps the Grammys, and France wins the World Cup for a second year. NJ Transit got new leadership, new direction, and a renewed commitment on the part of the state government. The company defied expectations by reaching a major milestone in the installation of federally mandated positive train control ahead of schedule. Our new leadership's primary focus is improving the customer experience. One way to do that is modernizing our rail and bus fleets. For rail customers, NJ Transit has ordered 113 new multi-level rail cars and 17 new dual-mode locomotives. For bus customers, 268 new cruiser and articulated buses are scheduled to arrive next year. We've also been aggressively recruiting for critical positions. We have had more than 500 new bus operators graduate from training since January 2018. The new operators, combined with the new buses, will allow us to serve an additional 500,000 passenger trips annually. We've also hired more than 100 locomotive engineer trainees, with 4 classes expected to graduate in 2019. We've also improved customer communication by leveraging technology. We introduced customized push notifications of service alerts through our mobile app and recently launched a new website homepage. The new homepage features a refreshed layout, streamlined navigation, and easier access to essential information. And all this is just the beginning.
I think the importance of New Jersey Transit, when you look at rising out of the ashes of a batch of bankrupt railroads and the collapse nationally of the private sector bus transit system, has been an incredible success story. It's certainly had its ups and downs, like most transit agencies around the country. But if you look at what New Jersey and the amount of mobility and where this company has grown over 40 years is astounding.
As we enter our 40th year of operation, the dedicated men and women of NJ Transit continue to prove every day that life begins at 40.